North Korea, when it went nuclear, we were told all of Asia was going to go nuclear. Japan would go nuclear. South Korea would go nuclear. You could understand why. South Korea is still in a state of active arms. It's at war with North Korea. And yet that hasn't happened. South Korea hasn't gone nuclear. Japan hasn't gone nuclear. What the lesson of North Korea has been, if you're a third-rate dysfunctional country that manages to acquire a couple of crude nuclear devices, you remain a third-world dysfunctional country with a couple of crude nuclear devices. Power does not flow from the barrel of crude nuclear weapons. It flows from your GDP, from your innovation, from your technological prowess. And so we come to Israel, and we come to the challenge that Iran places there. And what I would argue is that the Iranians, as Vali has pointed out, are cool, calculating, shrewd, far more so in their rhetoric and in their actions, certainly in their actions, than any of the regimes we are talking about. They will be deterred. They will be deterred by Israel's 200 to 500 nuclear weapons. Remember, Israel has many on submarines so that they have second strike capacity. They will be deterred by America's vast arsenal of nuclear weapons. And recall, they don't have any yet. We're talking about a hypothetical situation. And yet what we are talking about is a war in the Middle East where we would go and strike a regime preemptively. And what would happen? The regime would gain support at home. Every regime that has ever been attacked by foreigners preemptively has the effect of rallying people around that regime. We would be able to destroy part of the infrastructure, but they would be able to rebuild it very quickly. Israel's own estimates are that they would delay the program by 2 years. You would radicalize the Middle East and turn the mullahs and this regime into a much more popular force in the Middle East than it is now. Meanwhile, we have a containment strategy and a deterrence strategy. We have enormous pressure on them. The sanctions have been crippling their economy. They have not been able to develop a nuclear weapon. The Israeli intelligence that I have received in my 10 years as a journalist, every year for the last 10 years I have been told that Iran is 1 year away from getting a nuclear bomb. Either Israeli intelligence is very bad, or we have been very good at deterring and containing Iran.